So this is why I keep looking. Number one, I don't want you to focus on the music in the background, because it's going to help you say what I gotta say. Because the All Father is feeding me. And he's trying to help me understand things. But even if it's the truth, it doesn't always make sense, does it? Hold on, I gotta turn this shit just down a little bit more. Because I don't want you to focus on that. And this video has nothing to do with that. Guys, you are all a pawn on the chessboard. A pawn of life. And they don't know you so well. Yes, they do. These wars and things. I was just thinking about our forefathers that gave our lives for this country. Okay? But who ran it? Who told them they had to run into it? Who told them to fight? Who did this? Who did that? And they didn't do nothing but make money on every single person. And I just want to give a shout out to America too, because we're the hardest motherfuckers in the world. And you know it. But I'm saying, not stating law, but saying this, our forefathers set these things in action, thought it was important too. And what they've done is change definitions of words so that you are their chess piece. Now, there was a time, and especially back in Vietnam, and that was probably the last time, because I don't think anybody's been drafted since then. But yeah, the reason we was over there, they realized it was about money. It was about money. It was about money. It was about politics. It was about this, about that. And this motherfucker's dick, his balls are bigger than that other balls, and all that. But there were men that actually, I think Vietnam was probably the last war that men were drafted. But there was this also happened in World War II. But a lot of those guys didn't see the front lines, and a lot of them did. But most of them volunteered to go save this country. And the reason we got involved anyway was for what? For what? Capital gain. We'll just call it capital gain, because I ain't gonna make this. So now they got all your shit on digital, and everything you got's on a card. And they're still, even though they quit making pennies, are robbing you every day. Because every time you pay cash, you don't get 2 cents back. You don't get 3 cents. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and it doesn't sound like something I'm going to freak out about. But they're robbing us every day of our freedom. And if they want to, really, they've made places and laws now. And this is since our forefathers, since Vietnam, that if they, well, before that actually, if they said you needed to fight their war, you had to fight it. So, and I'm not saying that a lot of our stuff is not justified, but we have no business in the Muslim religion. Okay? We only have business with, well, it's actually called the petrodollar. So this is not actually a dollar that's printed, but they based everything on needs from these other countries because they've gained loans to the other countries. But at the same time, those countries had to sign over their natural resources to us. But what I'm saying to you about this is, why aren't we coming together and making the world a better place? And us Americans stand up, people. Because we've been taught at this point some unrealistic, completely bullshit ideas. Okay, number one, been put into poverty, especially in a lot of places, and I'm not going to name races or anything like that, but in some of those places, and that I honestly had no word in, because it completely beats wrong, but they have slowly killed this country, or trying it different ways, crack, just to name one, the drug war, just to name two, keeping us so, prices so high where you got your significant other, or if you're all by yourself even, and you have kids and that's your choice, but maybe it's not your choice, but are jumping from left foot to right foot and right foot to left foot, and it really doesn't matter what you voted for. It's because they're doing what they want anyway. Doesn't change the definitions of it, but they're more with themselves because they all have a chess pieces in this. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? And now they're feeding us stuff in our minds. Okay? Well, not really. We have to live it every day. So if you don't have it, then you're just going to be homeless. You know, if you don't have it. Control, control, control. And not only that, they pitted us against each other to think. And I'm not even really sure they're not using those types of devices to send weird signals to people's heads. And I'll tell you what, if you live nowadays and you ain't got PTSD by year 12, motherfucker, I don't know what the hell you doing. Y'all think I'm fake, but I'm not fake. I've been through all of it. There was a time when our country wouldn't be here. My grandparents wouldn't have allowed any of these things, half of these commercials, because they would throw the TV out in the middle of the yard, douse it with gas, and set it on fire. Even if they couldn't afford to do it, that's what they would have done. And I'm saying they had their own minds. You didn't go fuck with the people. Not unless it was really, really, really important. And even then, you better step fucking sideways because nobody to fucking stay in each other's business. I'm talking about community, all the shit we lost, man. Because every time you look at me and the way I look, there's many, probably, I'm going to say at least 75% think to themselves, oh, God, that's one of them drug fucking addicts right there, man. That's one of them crazy ass people right there, man. When you drinking the same fucking alcohol and buying the fucking shit just like I am. Or you've lived to the point where you've been, and we're all fighting wars, people. And I've talked about this. Your wars with yourself every day. But look, let us be so paranoid. And now we're seeing shit up in the sky. And I think some of it is them, but there are certain things I've seen that definitely can't be. Because if they got that technology didn't come from this bitch or from us. And I say they've been here long, forever. Ever since they made us. And they keep making us. Never mind. Doesn't mean they're God, though. But I'm saying there's some real fucked up shit, but truths that need to come out. And I just did a video on the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. But the truth is, you're all fools. The whole world. And what happened to the times where we grew gardens? What happened to the times where my parents and my grandparents canned enough stuff for us to eat, but they didn't even have to buy it in the can store? What happened to the times where we were close-knit, we got together every once in a while, we found out who was in that community, we knew who had to watch out for, or whatever, but that was their business unless they made it yours. You see what I'm saying? When did we become such slaves of the world? And I'm telling you, all your money's on a computer somewhere. And now we've introduced AI, and they may wake up and say, y'all ain't got no money, so what are you going to do? But I would hope that all of us would fucking do the right thing for each other and families. And there's enough resources. There's enough of this. There's enough of that. And what are they going to do? As long as we keep making what we need to make for ourselves, doing what we need to do for ourselves, the simple ways, go back to the simple ways, and not make it about the dollar. Or, what did I say? Financial gains, whatever the fuck. Because it's not even about what's printed now. You get robbed every day. But I'm saying that it's too, there is a lot of misjustice and stuff going on in the world. But they hyper-focus us all on that shit. And then a lot of us have gone over there, and we found out it was way, way worse than that. But at the same time, we had no reason being there. It was their business. They weren't making it ours. Until they made it ours, we shouldn't have made it ours. But we had investments. We had, again, financial gains. And at this point, I don't think they could print enough money to run anything. Especially this country, worldwide, or any of that. When we are the ones, the backbone of everywhere you're at in the world, we take care of each other. We put each other first. It shouldn't be about the first star, and then you got the 2 stars, and then you got the 4 stars, and then you got the 6 stars, and then you finally just tattooed your body up so many with stars you couldn't tell who was who anymore. You remember that? Old Dr. Seuss was a smart son of a bitch. And so is J.R. Tolkien. But what I'm saying is we're losing our humanity. We're losing our humanity. Because what's going to fucking make a difference about us, leaving a world for ourselves is us. And we got to quit letting them put stipulations of how much this costs. What about we all just start taking care of each other? And we go out and we'll go here and we'll go play the game. You ready to play the game? But you are all chess pieces on a board. And don't think that they don't also own nuclear missiles and prisons and just about everything else. They made it about money. You got enough money? No. That shouldn't make a difference when it comes to justice. And we're doing what's wrong and doing what's right. But they got our heads so fucked up and filled up with shit. There's no doubt they're not using those sound weapons that's making us all feel like you're my enemy, I'm your enemy. And I freak people out every day just by like, hey, what's up, brother? And I mean it. Oh, shit. They thought I was fucking walking and do liberty liberty. That's what they thought I was going to walk up and do. Because I was so fucked up on that. No, I ain't. I've been there, done that shit. I'm not drowning my soul in your bullshit anymore. And I'll do what I gotta do to have what I need to have, but I also want to include everyone else too. We need to quit thinking that you are my enemy. Because when I grew up beside, well, at least my generation did, we grew up beside each other. And each and every one of us Gen X motherfuckers are responsible for making this fucking shit go back to where it used to be. And maybe even better because we're not carrying on generational curses anymore. So, like I say, I've got you and the world in mind. All my people in America, shout out people. But let's fucking do what we do best. Let's change the world. And let's do it in the most peaceful way possible. Because at this point, if this motherfucker's got enough money to buy missiles, and he bought missiles, and blah, 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 we don't know what we're fighting and who we're fighting. But we can come together, and I'm sure there's enough of us that can form something that will make them look like assholes. And that don't include shooting a nuclear bomb at them. But if it's far enough away, just kidding, man. Just kidding. Let's take care of each other first. Let's take care of each other like we always used to. And that's the number one thing. And quit letting them tell you these bullshit that you can't possibly do. Okay? You're not by yourself going to possibly make enough money Even if you've got your whole family into it, but at this point, they made our kids so lazy. And if they can't do it online, they're the ones flying these drones and shit at this point. Promise you. They just don't know what they're doing. They don't know they're connected to that. But I promise you, spent all that van done. And I do believe aliens are real. But I think they're trying to come back, or they're already here. They just want to tell some of us. Well, I don't even think that. I don't know what that's about. Don't. But I do know what the All-Father's about. And what he's always been about. And that's peace and love. And taking care of each other. Reaching out for something greater than ourselves. Being something better than yourself. But if we all get out there, and we're going to fall. We're going to keep falling. We're going to always fall. But we're not going to fucking give up no matter what. So, if I keep like